everybody, Gina Mizell here alongside Danny Moran. We are at Oregon State practice on Tuesday. The Beavers play Colorado at home on Saturday and of course are coming off another disappointing loss to Washington State on the road, where the defense played really poorly in the first half, really couldn't get much worse. 6 touchdown passes, Washington State scored on all 7 possessions. But then in the second half, did not allow a point. Washington State's only score was on a pick 6. So talking to Kalani Sitake, he seems maybe not conflicted, but obviously very frustrated about the first half, but encouraged by the second half perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately when you're down 45-17 at the half, it's hard to say you're encouraged by anything. They did praise, like Gary Anderson did following the game, kind of the technique and things they were able to do defensively, not allowing an offensive touchdown. But I think that, you know, the confounding thing almost is you have to see that for an entire game, and why isn't the team come out with that, you know, proper technique immediately, particularly against, you know, we've talked before about how Stanford, Michigan, those are tougher matchups, but they went pretty even with them in the first half of those games, whereas now back-to-back weeks you've got results against Arizona and Washington State where the game's basically over at halftime. A lot of that's poor tackling and, you know, even some missed assignments too. So right now the issue seems to be how do we, you know, for them, how do you get that into the first half from the start of the game? Yeah, when you look specifically, I guess, at one position group, the secondary is what's undergone the most changes over the past week or so, partially because of injury. Obviously, Larry Scott sprained ankle against Washington State. He is on crutches right now. And then, of course, Cyril Nolan-Lewis has moved from safety to nickelback. They've even alluded to perhaps him playing some cornerback. Devin Chappelle is now at safety. So it's very interesting. Dwayne Williams is now starting at corner. So just a lot of stuff going on, specifically in the secondary as Oregon State prepares to keep facing these really high-powered offenses. And it spreads all over the field too. I mean, this team was already thin at linebacker to start the year. Joshua James has moved, you know, back to the line after kind of being in that hybrid role. So you know, there's still there hasn't been one thing that they've been able to go to, despite having some success earlier in the year. They've really had to move things around, so it's almost making sense now that as the season's going on, they're starting to wear down. But I don't think, you know, the coaching staff doesn't really want to use the lack of experience as a, you know, excuse anymore. Right. You know, now that it's 6 games into the season and halfway through. Yeah, absolutely. One other note, Jalen Grimble, he's a defensive lineman that a lot of people have asked about because he came in so highly touted. Obviously is fighting off a knee injury. He took the last couple weeks off where he didn't practice during team periods, but he has been back out there the last couple of days, so we'll see if he's able to go against Colorado on Saturday. So, of course, tomorrow is an offensive availability day. Quarterbacks, Gary Croton, all kinds of people should be available, so keep with us then, and until then, keep reading on OregonLive.com and in the Oregonian. So for Danny Moran, I am Gina Mizell. We'll catch you next time from Corvallis.